on KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And good morning, Las Vegas. Welcome. What's going on? As we are live here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming on that Odyssey app, AUDACY. Make sure you download that right now, and future generations of your family will thank you for doing it. And we are also streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So look us up there, and we will love to have you join us. And especially today, because unfortunately we had a last-minute cancellation, and some of the gangs occupied today. So right now, at least, it's going to be me, your favorite little lovable host, Mark Hoke, giving it to you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on KDAWN. So if you want to join us in that chat box, you can go to either X at Mark Hoke Show, also on Facebook and YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show. And we'll take your questions and have a little conversation along the way. There was a conversation on Friday night. Oh, God, here we go again. WWE got very lucky last year when The Rock showed up and Dwayne was like, it should be me and Roman. Oh, match everybody wants. And last night, or Friday night on SmackDown, Dwayne showed up again. And a lot of people thought he was out there to say hi to everybody, hype up WrestleMania a little bit, and make the announcement that next year's WrestleMania will be in New Orleans. So congratulations to New Orleans. You'll get to have the showcase of the Immortals at your place. So enjoy that. We'll be enjoying ours here this year. But it was a very interesting episode of SmackDown. Cody was supposed to be in a 6-man match. He was pulled out of it because Dwayne wanted to see Cody. So after we survive all the intros, The Rock starts giving a nice long spiel about, I'm the guy, I'm on the board of TKO, and, Ari Emanuel, the chairman of TKO, said, no, you own WWE, man. And Cody is just kind of standing there and listen to this whole thing. And The Rock's like, oh, we became friends, man. We're friends. Our mamas are friends. Everybody's a friend. And as he gets to the end of this promo, says, Cody, you could be so much more. You have millions of followers on your Instagram, right? Well, I've got 500 million. And I'm not saying that as a flex. I'm just kind of saying it, that I can get you places that you never dreamed of. I can secure your family for generations. Your little baby girl won't have to worry anymore. And just Cody's just standing there like, what in God's name is going on? And Cody says, what, you want this, pointing to the WWE Undisputed Championship? And The Rock says, no, I don't want that. I want your soul. Think about it, Cody. I'll see you next week at Elimination Chamber. And Cody stands with a befuddled look as The Rock struts his way out of the ring. And we are left with far more questions than answers. So here's the Here's the fun part. Of course, Triple H is like, plans can change. The Rock even said in a press conference, you don't have to have a match to settle it between Cody and I. We don't need we don't need to have a match. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Dwayne? What are you talking about? So now all of a sudden, after appearing that he wasn't going to be at WrestleMania, and it sure looked like that everybody was completely settled and had their plans ready to go, that he was not going to be wrestling at WrestleMania this year. Well, there it is. Here, Dwayne shows up again. 6 weeks. 6 weeks before WrestleMania. And tells Cody he wants his soul. Guys, we're 6 weeks away. And you're messing with the undisputed champion's lines here. What's he going to do? We already have an Elimination Chamber match coming up next week, where the winner was supposed to be taking on Cody Rhodes. But now apparently Cody's going to be wrestling for his soul. Holy God. Like I said, they pulled this off last year with them switching to Rock and Roman Reigns. The fans went ballistic. And, they made it work. They did a great job. They made it work. But why would you do this 6 weeks out? It is unbelievable. Look, everybody loves The Rock, right? No one's got real complaints with The Rock. But this nonsense of sticking your nose in when, so late. Look, these guys, this isn't like they sit around a week before WrestleMania and say, okay, what are we going to do with our matches? What are we going to do? Now, they're planning this months and months out. Now, despite there are, changes in the river flow. We all know this. But you can't do this, Dwayne. You can't keep doing this to everybody. If you look at some of and let me pull this story here real quick, is the backstage reaction to the return. The creative was told a few days prior to SmackDown, but it was still a shock to many in the company. WWE was previously working under the impression that The Rock would not be wrestling at WrestleMania 41. And his Raw's Netflix premiere led to many assuming he would not be back anytime soon, with it being reported The Rock himself didn't know when he was going to be wrestling next. So this looks like it is just hey, you know what? I'm not happy that everybody seems to think that I'm not going to be at WrestleMania this year. So there he goes. Oh, welcome to the new WrestleMania plans, Triple H. Now, I know, like I said, I'll double check this ticket sales. I know as of last week, there were still about 6,000-ish tickets left for each night. I don't know. Maybe Dwayne was looking at the ticket sales and saying, we sold out Philadelphia in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, excuse me. Now, why aren't we sold out Las Vegas? And it brings to mind a bigger question about, where WWE is right now. And we'll talk about that later in the show. But what a crazy thing to have happen right now. It certainly makes the Elimination Chamber even more interesting because first, Roman's not in it. So there's no way of getting, I shouldn't say that. There's always a way to get somebody into a match if you really want to. But what I don't understand is, even in this promo, He said the dream match was Rock and Roman Reigns. Well, so why not do it? Why not do it? Just unbelievable. Like I said, if I were in WWE creative and you had a lot of options going into this WrestleMania, a lot. Obviously, they settled where they settled. You've got Jey Uso taking on Gunther. Cody's opponent was supposed to be determined here at the Elimination Chamber. Who knows if that's going to happen? And everybody was already thinking it was going to be John Cena. And, I don't know how well a John Cena Cody Rhodes match, when it really comes down to it, is going to be, it's going to be one that's people are going to truly be excited about. It also brings to mind, it brings up the discussion of veterans, past veterans coming back. You have so many great talented performers at WWE right now. Why do we need to put John Cena possibly in the main event at WrestleMania? Why do we need to have Rock trying to steal souls? I mean, what is the deal? With John Cena, I get it a little bit. It's his retirement tour. He's wrapping it up. He's got the time to do it. He wants to say goodbye. But is goodbye the right against Cody Rhodes in the main event at WrestleMania the right place? I don't know if I'd put him in that match. I don't know if I would. And now all of a sudden, Dwayne is looming his shadow all over WrestleMania again. Dude, if you want to wrestle for the title, just let's get it done. And I'm serious. Let's get it done. You know what? Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber, The Rock walks up to him with a case of $5 million and says, go wrestle R-Truth. And that person will say, okay, you got it, boss. And just do it. Just do it. Or maybe put Rock. No, Rock won't do the Elimination Chamber. That's not even a good idea. Just, this is amazing to me. Amazing. Now, I will say this, if they've had this planned for a while, then that's cool. But it sure doesn't seem like it. And as someone who's watched professional wrestling for, over 40 years, this doesn't seem like this was a long-term plan. I don't know. But yes, I am going off on The Rock today because this is, I don't even know what to say about it. Too much more about it. It's just ridiculous. By the way, in the chat box, buying Scoop, one of the great photographers in pro wrestling is out there. He said, Mark, I say Scoop. And also mentioned about the ticket sales. Those prices and flight prices are killing it. Yeah. Plus, they decided to do it on Easter weekend. You're dodging March Madness. And you're charging a lot of money for those tickets. A lot. Man, this is still a family event. This is still not, not like the Super Bowl where it's super corporate. So yeah, it's not cheap right now. And especially flying out here for Easter weekend and with everything going on, man, it's a rough weekend in Las Vegas. I'm not going to deny that. We unfortunately just lost a pay-per-view, at least temporarily. But, a lot of interesting stuff happening. But yeah, so Dwayne's in. What do you think, guys? If you're in that chat box, let me know at the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube. Or also hit us up on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, the Mark Hoke Show. What do you think? Is Dwayne sticking his nose in it, or am I just being a curmudgeon? Anybody listening to the show knows I wasn't that happy about it last year. But this time around, I need to steal a soul. Let's do it just for fun. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to maybe talk a little more Rock, but We're getting ready for Elimination Chamber. AEW Revolution's really stacking up to be a great card. We have a departure in WWE and so much more going on. We're going to break down the indie calendar, too, of what's going to be happening here in Las Vegas. I'm Mark Hoke on the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We'll be right back.
Nevada businesses have been through some tough times, and we've been right here with you through thick and thin, helping self-insured groups get the best workers' comp programs, affordable coverage that meets your needs, and a company that stands by you all the way. From helping establish safety programs to conducting inspections, we are here when you need us. Pro Group Management is the national award-winning team you can trust to stay with you. After all, we've been here with you for over 20 years, through good economic times and bad. Find out how to have Pro Group Management work for you. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now. That's pgmnv.com. Or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful. Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or in third-party delivery platforms.
1015 FM KDAWN. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show, the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I am the aforementioned one, Mark Hoke. Thanks for joining me today. Certainly appreciate it. The whole gang either got sick or had stuff they had to do today, so it's me. But very happy to have everybody joining us as we break down the week in pro wrestling. And man, we are getting ready for a very special time. You know, it just kind of went off on the rock a little bit, but WrestleMania is going to be here Easter weekend, and what a weekend it should be. It is going to be jam-packed. And later on the show, we'll give you a rundown of at least some of the events that are going to be taking place here in Las Vegas that week. It is going to be a very, very special time here in Las Vegas. Of course, we haven't had a WrestleMania since WrestleMania 9. 9. That's a long time, man. It's a long, long time. That outdoor battle at Caesars, which many regard as one of the worst WrestleManias ever. Now, hopefully we're going to redeem ourselves a little bit this time around. But it's an interesting way things are headed right now. But first, we got to survive Elimination Chamber. That is coming up this Saturday from Toronto. And given what Dwayne just did, man, I'll tell you what. Sure makes it a little more intriguing, doesn't it? Right now, we have 4 matches on the card. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to hook it up. Of course, the longtime frenemies will be trying to crush each other in an unsanctioned match. And, of course, this spurs reached back from when this is the last pay-per-view where Sami would not help Kevin. And Kevin took it out on him. He wasn't happy. But that should be a fun match. Of course, if you don't really know much of the history between these two guys, they have been traveling together forever. A ton of great matches together and against each other in Ring of Honor. Just some of those brutal matches ever. So I can only imagine what an unsanctioned match between Kevin and Sami is going to be like. But hold on to your hats for that one. That may steal the show that night. It really might. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus team up. Boy, Tiffany got made a baby face real quick, didn't she? I don't know if it fits for her yet. We'll see. Give her time. No, because it was just fun. Tiffy time. And now we're going to it's Tiffy time. All right. Everybody come along. They'll be taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae in a tag team match. So, kind of a fun little torch passer there that Trish will get a shot to team with Tiffany Stratton. Should be a lot of fun. And then we get to the Elimination Chamber matches, both of which are for World Championship title shots. The women's, it's Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. They will be facing off, and the winner will meet up with Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. How excited are you about Rhea Ripley taking on any one of those women right now? I think the most fun, the most colossal match I think out of the group would be her against Bianca Belair, just because of the athleticism and everything else. I wouldn't mind seeing Alexa Bliss in there either, though. I think that would be a lot of fun. Even though she just came back, I think that has potential to be a pretty exciting match and a great lead up. Not that any of the other ones went bad. We could get Liv Morgan again, possibly. I don't know who's going to win that match, to be honest with you. And because I think you'd be looking forward to a women's tag team title defense. Well, that would take out Bianca and Naomi. And Liv and Raquel Rodriguez kind of seem to be headed that way to be the challengers. So that would take Liv out. So that would take you down to Alexa Bayley and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne wouldn't be bad, though. Gotta love her. It's funny that she just plays this little meanie on the TV, but she's just the nicest person in the world. Swear to God. So we'll see how that one turns out. But now I think a lot of eyes are going to be on this men's match as we have John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins taking on each other. And the winner would get Cody. So we have one person looking for Cody's belt and one person looking for his soul. But boy, I'll tell you what, I had just, when I was going through getting ready for the show here, one thing that came to mind is if Cody turns this offer down, let's say he says no, Rock, I don't want to be your brother. I don't want to be your corporate guy. I don't want to be your champion. I'm their champion. I'm my champion. I'm my family's champion, not yours. Someone's got to fill the spot, right? Do you want to have Las Vegas do a collective cringe right now? Are you ready? What about Logan Paul? What if Logan Paul won this match and goes on to face Cody? Cody turns down The Rock's offer, and The Rock decides that Logan Paul is his champion. Look, we're talking social media and all that kind of stuff in the promo. Not many people out there that have a bigger following than Logan Paul. And if you want a heat magnet, good Lord. This whole thing just makes the actual possibility of Logan Paul walking out of WrestleMania as the WWE Undisputed Champion. Not saying they took it up to like 80% or anything, but 20%, 25%. It's certainly more than what it was on Thursday. Of course, the plans that we've been hearing about say John Cena, but what about CM Punk? Would you have a problem with CM Punk getting Cody Rhodes? I think a great match. And, I'm not sure about the possibilities with The Rock, but look, we've seen crazier things before happen in the WWE. So we'll find out as we get to Elimination Chamber once again. That is coming up on Saturday night, March 1st. So brace yourselves for what should be a great card coming out of the Rogers Center in Toronto. Yeah, boy, Dwayne just put another. Thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate stuff to talk about. Yikes, that is going to be crazy. Meanwhile, on the ladies' side, this is a very interesting story that's popping up for WWE. Is apparently the ladies aren't that happy about what's happening in their division. To a small point, I don't blame them. And by the way, if you want to make a comment in the chat box, if you're watching the show, certainly would appreciate that. And come join us there too. At Mark Hoke Show on X, and then The Mark Hoke Show also on Facebook and YouTube. And you can hop in there, subscribe, give us a like, and say hi. And give us your thoughts on what's going on right now. So with the women's division, apparently they are saying that they want the women to be on a more level playing field to the men. That while contracts have improved, investment in terms of viewership is more even, but not enough TV time, and WWE's creative is not putting in the, according to them, not putting in the time for their storylines. And per Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, those on the current WWE roster spoke to Fightful and expressed frustration at the lack of focus on developing title contenders. I would agree with that. The continued disregard to the tag team division, I would fairly agree with that too. And less time for those lower down on the card. And some of the frustration coming out of how much more time the NXT women's division gets instead as compared to them. Redundant storylines, lack of following the story after Sonya Deville got released. And that one shocked me. I am still stunned about that. I hated that name, the Pure Fusion Collective, but I liked the group with Sonya, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. I felt as a group could have gone a long way if they'd really pushed it. But they just kind of made it, and it's like seems to happen a lot. But the women apparently a little frustrated. And like I said, I can see where they're coming from. I really can. Now, you've got the top of the card, yeah. But, but even this whole thing, we got Charlotte taking on Tiffany Stratton. Why? This is one that if Charlotte does win at WrestleMania, which a lot of people are expecting her to do, it puts Charlotte back in that place where people are, we're kind of frustrated with her in the first place. Now, like I had said a couple of weeks ago on the show, if they change how she wrestles and they change a few things to really make her a heel, as opposed to a heel that performs like a babyface, that I'd be okay with a long Charlotte run. But the issue you've got with Tiffany Stratton is you just elevated her to a women's championship, and now you're going to knock her back down the rungs. And I don't like that. I think if they were going to do that, wouldn't have been cooler to have, say, Charlotte wins the championship at WrestleMania when Nia Jax was the champ. And that would have been a fun one too, because, Charlotte and Nia certainly have their little beef. And they actually almost got in a fight in the ring a while back. But let's say Charlotte wins the title there, and then Tiffany comes in and cashes in on her. Now you've got a rivalry. I mean, right now it's just, hey, I won the Rumble, and I'm going to beat you up. It's not much to go on. Not much. So, and then the other side, who knows is going to be up against Rhea. I'm sure at some point we're going to find out who beat up Jade Cargill, which put Naomi in as half of the tag team champions. And you're having some fun with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But, really after that, what's going on with the women? Give me more. You've got this incredibly talented roster. Let's see it. I mean, Chelsea's doing her thing. And Chelsea Green, the United States champion. She's doing all right. Lyra Valkyria just won the Intercontinental title and then lost a match right off the bat. I don't know. Sometimes, when you hear reports like this, it's kind of a combination of one side's right to a point, the other side's right to a point, and they've just got to find a way to meet in the middle. But that was an interesting story that came out, that the ladies aren't happy where they're at right now. And everybody was like, oh, Triple H is taking care of women. And now the women are upset. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Yeah, Scoop of the Chat Box says, I'm all for Chelsea Green and Meechin. Yeah, I am too. The one thing, and there was an interesting story, by the way, Scoop, that you mentioned that Meechin said she felt like she was having trouble connecting with the crowd. Well, look, you got a great ton of professionals around you. You can figure it out. But yeah, I like Chelsea and Meechin too. They are a pretty electric combination. So interesting stuff there on the women's side. And I guess before we end that topic, we have apparently, at least for now, are saying goodbye to Carmella, as she has no longer contracted to WWE. She had said that she'd suffered 2 miscarriages prior to her return, and got pregnant again finally. So Corey Graves is doing his job, but she's apparently having some health issues and wants to stay home with the kids. I don't blame her. And what more does she have to prove at this point? I'm sure she would love to get back, but Carmella is a very underrated performer. I always enjoyed her work, to be honest with you. Just so over the top. It's kind of like Chelsea Green has taken the Carmella spot, but Carmella just did a great job, and she really did have one of the cooler cash-ins of all time. So, hopefully Carmella is going to get back and everything's going to be good with her and the family. And I know Corey Graves getting sent down to NXT, he wasn't real happy about that. So I'm sure there's some rumbling and grumbling in the household, but hopefully everything's going to be all right. So Carmella, thank you for your contributions to pro wrestling, and hopefully we will see you back soon. And speaking of seeing you back soon, we're going to take a break. A whole lot more going on in the world of pro wrestling. And we'll get into some fun stuff that happened on NXT, including, we're going to get a dream match in NXT. I can't wait. Stick around. We got a whole lot more of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Looking for high-quality custom screen printing in Las Vegas? Look no further than Off-Grid Creations. Need a few custom t-shirts for a local event, band merchandise, or family reunion? We've got you covered. Large order of uniforms for your staff, sports team, or club? We can handle that too. Our experienced team will work closely with you throughout the entire process from design consultation to final product. Call us at 661-300-1115. That's 661-300-1115. Or visit our website at off-gridcreations.com. Get a free consultation today.
Stand Up to Cancer asked leading cancer researchers to speak about why they do their work.
Two words come to mind for me. One is responsibility, the other is purpose.
It's just so inspiring to do research that impacts human lives.
Stand Up to Cancer has been a critical partner in advancing research for cancer.
Cancer research saves lives.
So please help us fight in this battle against cancer.
Be a part of the team that ends cancer at standuptocancer.org.
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love.
1015 FM KDAWN. You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. So we bring you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. Me compadres all either busy or ill. So I am taking the show today. So bear with me as we roll through another great edition of the Mark Hoke Show. By the way, Matthew Rodriguez in the chat box says, hey guys. Hey guys. What's up, Matt? Good to see you. All right. Got some betting odds, by the way, before we keep things rolling. If you saw the little graphic we had up there, but betonline.ag. Great site where you can bet on wrestling. Just go to markhokeshow.com and click on the betonline.ag banner. And I'm going to get you a bonus to sign up where you can get a 50% sign up bonus up to $1,000. So I will be giving you $500 to go sign up right now, if you so choose. But betting odds, by the way, are up for Elimination Chamber. And wow, I'm starting at the bottom of the board on this. As the top of the board, yikes, crazy. Women's Elimination Chamber match. Right now, Bianca Belair is the betting favorite. She is minus 450. So for those that aren't necessarily familiar with betting terminology, that means they think she's going to win solidly. Then it goes to Liv Morgan at plus 500, Alexa Bliss plus 600, Naomi plus 700, Roxanne Perez at plus 1600, Bailey at 2200. So those are pretty high betting odds for just about everybody else. We then go to the unsanctioned match. Closest one on the card, Kevin Owens is a minus 160. Sami Zayn is a slight underdog at plus 120. I would say that's a pretty correct statement. I would imagine Kevin's going to win that match because they're going to be setting him up for something at WrestleMania. But yeah, you never know. Maybe Sami pulls it out. Randy Orton shows up and decks him. That's what we're hearing, by the way, through the rumor mill, that Randy Orton is going to be Kevin Owens' opponent at WrestleMania. That would be a lot of fun. Boy, and Kevin just gets the legends, doesn't he? That just goes to show how much they trust him. Just give him the belt. Mm-hmm. Men's Elimination Chamber and tag team match. Oh, this one pretty obvious. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus are a minus 2,000, so you have to bet $2,000 to make $100. Not a good value in that, but I guess if you need to make $100, hey, it's there. This one is interesting to me. Very interesting. Especially after what we just talked about. The Men's Elimination Chamber match, John Cena is a minus 2,000 favorite. So that means John is an overwhelming favorite to win this match, which would get him the match at WrestleMania with Cody, the one that Rock wants to take his soul. CM Punk, hey, he can pump up the jam. CM Punk plus 275. And he's the only one that's even in the stratosphere of this right now. Seth Rollins plus 200 or 2,000. He wouldn't be a bad guy to have going against Cody. Drew McIntyre plus 2,500. Damian Priest plus 3,300. Now, you guys remember what I said about Logan Paul? Logan Paul is a plus 4,000. So if you would bet $100, you would get 4,000 back. Now, if you want to bet $1, still a nice return. That might be worth sneaking a little coin in on that. Throw a 5 spot down, a little pizza money, as a friend of mine likes to say. I don't know. Think about it. It wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong on the show, but that is a fascinating betting line to me. Fascinating. By the way, 2 of the WrestleMania matches are up there as well. Jey Uso minus 2,000 to beat Gunther is a plus 700. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, they've actually got both of them in the negative here. Charlotte's minus 135, Tiffany Stratton 105. So they haven't decided on that one yet. These guys generally are spot on, but I've caught them a few times where they made some mistakes. So you might want to go check it out on betonline.ag. Once again, go to my site first, markhokeshow.com, and click on the banner so you can get your sign-up bonus. But pretty interesting betting odds there for you on the Elimination Chamber and WWE at this point. By the way, some other cool stuff that happened this week in WWE. NXT got to say hi to the Hardys on a video package. And they're going to be wrestling a match apparently coming up soon. So the Hardys coming to NXT. How about that? But this was the one that really got me. And I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am about this because I'm a pretty big fan of both of these guys. I've interviewed Moose a couple of times. Of course, he's now the TNA X Division champion. But with the crossover relationship that WWE and TNA have, anybody from TNA can show up on WWE at any point and vice versa. Well, Obafemi, the NXT champion, who is a monstrous Nigerian who is, to me, bound for superstardom. There is no question in my mind. Well, he's in the ring and Moose shows up. And oh my. For those that don't know Moose was a former NFL lineman for a long time. Multiple-time TNA world champion. And apparently we're going to get Moose and Obafemi at some point soon. Are you kidding me? It's like I hate IVs, but hook that one up. I'm good. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see Moose and Obafemi going after each other. Cannot wait to see how that turns out. And by the way, once again, don't forget, we got that chat box open if you want to make comments on anything. You know, we did talk about The Rock earlier. We're going to revisit it at the start of the second hour because it's a pretty big story. We're also going to be getting into what's going on with AEW Revolution down in LA in a couple of weeks. They're building some serious momentum and a lot going on here in Las Vegas. But unfortunately, there is one announcement that came out this week that made me sad. And to a point, I can't blame AEW for doing what they've done. But it looks like Double or Nothing. Well, it is. It is going to Glendale, Arizona. The announcement got made. Of course, it's been here 3 of the 5 years of its existence. The other 2 were during the pandemic, so they were back in Jacksonville. But kind of sad. But look, we did see some dwindling numbers of attendance. And Tony apparently feels like just too close to WrestleMania. And with how much WrestleMania is going to be costing people in Las Vegas. And look, Las Vegas is not a cheap city anymore to come on a vacation. And this isn't the 80s and 90s anymore. You're paying $10 for a water bottle. You're paying $15-17 for a beer down on the Strip, which is why everybody who lives here doesn't go down to the Strip very much. It's costly. And as Scoop said earlier, and in the chat box, it said the prices for everything and the flight prices are really bad. And Easter weekend's a tough weekend. I certainly get the philosophy of WWE scheduling away from the March Madness tournament. They don't want anything distracting them. And, and they've kind of gone a little more corporate with their media and so on. I get it. You guys are the big dog, but sometimes even the big dogs bite off much more than they can chew. But, it's the way it is. So Tony Khan is moving AEW Double or Nothing down to Glendale. So it's only a 5-hour trip. So this, you guys that want to go to it, I would imagine I've got friends down there. I'll probably make the trip and hit that one, but a little heartbroken, but I got 2 AEW pay-per-views in 3 months nearby, at least, because we have Revolution coming up down in LA at at Crypto.com Center in Los Angeles on March 9th. So that is going to be and that card, man, I can't wait to start talking about it because it is going to be just top to bottom, a pretty sensational card. And it's looking like AEW's kind of starting to pull things back a little bit and get it together. So brace yourselves for AEW Revolution. And of course, they're going to be here coming up for Collision the week after that down at the Virgin. Sorry, the Virgin Theater. So make sure you get your tickets for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And a new venue for pro wrestling. They've never done a pro wrestling show at the Virgin. And, a lot of great restaurants, a lot of other terrific shows that go on over there. So good chance to check it out and, see some terrific wrestling from All Elite Wrestling at the Virgin Theater. Of course, we're also going to be getting the TNA card as well. And we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. But I do want to take time to do a little bit of housekeeping for you. Please don't forget, hey, the Travel Shark is out there right now. TheTravelShark.com/Hoke Show. Look, you were talking about these prices, and if you want to save some money on your hotel rooms, they are teamed with Priceline. You get those employee and hidden prices that you're not going to get anywhere else, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Just go to TheTravelShark.com/Hoke Show, or you can go to MarkHokeShow.com and click on the banner. Either way, you're going to get there. Sign up for free, and I promise you, and it's not just for WrestleMania. This is for any traveling you do. You're going to love it. It's fantastic. And I'm going to be using it myself here very shortly as I'm going to try and book a trip or two here. Let's check it out at TheTravelShark.com/Hoke Show. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more. Our hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming on that Odyssey app. Go download that right now. AUDACY. Hear my show and many other shows on KDAWN and from all over the Odyssey family. Certainly appreciate it. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and subscribe at YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. And get in that chat box. You know, you can listen and type away too. It's a lot of fun. Stick around, everybody. We've got more on The Mark Hoke Show. Hour 2 coming up. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Are you purchasing or leasing a new vehicle and need some extra cash for a down payment? Dollar Loan Center has you covered.
Dollar Loan Center. Dollar Loan Center. Dollar Loan Center.
Getting a new vehicle is always expensive. Down payment, registration, insurance, title, and tags, it never ends. But Don'tBeBroke.com can help. At Dollar Loan Center, you can get a signature loan up to $5,000, and you get your money the same day. Actually, you usually get it in around 30 minutes. It's that quick. And unlike your car loan, less than perfect credit is the norm at DLC. Stop by one of our 60 locations, apply over the phone with a real person, or online at Don'tBeBroke.com from the comfort of your smartphone.
Dollar Loan Center.
Dollar Loan Center has you covered.
Licensed by Nevada Financial Institutions Division. Subject to approval. Limitations may apply. See website for details.
Will you be the next Vegas Golden Knights game day giveaway winner? One lucky customer will win a $1,500 shopping spree, home game tickets, and a hotel stay at Circa Resort and Casino every week. Spend $12 in-store or at the pump with your Terribles app to qualify. Plus, earn bonus entries with any Bud Light purchase throughout the season. Every day is game day, exclusively at Terribles. Visit Terribles.com for details.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
The Pope's respiratory crisis. Jack Callahan, Fox News, has put him in intensive care at a hospital in Rome. But he was able to send a message to supporters today on social media, as Fox's Jeff Paul reports from Rome.
The Pope today is awake. He is receiving oxygen, but he is breathing on his own. And he's even doing well enough to post on social media today, posting on X, saying in part that basically thanking people for their closeness and prayers that are coming in from all over the world. Now, on top of that, we are learning the Pope, again, he is awake, he's eating, and officials have said the crisis is over, at least for now. The 88-year-old 15-year-old has been receiving high flows of oxygen to help him breathe after suffering from a prolonged asthmatic respiratory crisis. Pope Francis has also received blood transfusions due to a low blood platelet count.
The Pope was admitted to the hospital more than a week ago after his bronchitis worsened. He was diagnosed with pneumonia. He has a history of lung infections. FBI Director Kash Patel will take over as head of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms following his confirmation as the 9th FBI Director. Former FBI Director Christopher Wray resigned at the end of President Biden's term, and Attorney General Pam Bondi fired ATF General Counsel Pamela Hicks. Bondi criticizing the ATF's focus on gun owners pledging change under the new administration. U.S. Border Patrol agent David Malland was buried with full military honors at Fort Snelling National Cemetery in Minnesota yesterday. The 44-year-old Malland was killed on January 20th during a traffic stop near the Canadian border in Vermont. The driver of the car opened fire, sparking a shootout that left her companion dead. Both were linked to a cult-like group known as the Zizians, which may be tied to 6 deaths across 3 states. Malland, a Minnesota native, had served in the Air Force, the State Department, and with the U.S. Border Patrol. His family remembered him as a loving and dedicated person. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
You never hear me call myself a journalist. I'm not. I'm not a journalist. And a talk show host has opinions, and I do have an opinion. I'm an opinion journalist. I don't hide and say I'm object. I'm not.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at noon on 1015 KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we are back for hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM. Very happy to have you joining us. What's going on, Las Vegas? As we bring you the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show. Flying solo today. Coach Rosie had something to do with his daughter. Stu's out covering soccer. And Phil's a little under the weather all of a sudden. So maybe Phil will show up back during the show, but not betting on it. Let him take it easy. But thanks for having us coming onto your radio dials, the Odyssey app. If you don't have the Odyssey app, oh, golly gee whiz, what are you doing? Go get it right now. Now. Maybe you'll find a 4-leaf clover because you just got lucky getting that Odyssey app. And also, we're streaming live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. X is at Mark Hoke Show. Facebook and YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. And hop on in, just like, let's see who we have here. Trell just discovered the show on radios. Again, so cool that Vegas has a wrestling show. I've been on the show air for a while here, brother. We're in 4 years now doing the show. So thanks for finding us. Glad you did. And hopefully you'll stay listening. We certainly do appreciate that. So welcome to the Mark Hoke Show family. Trell. Very nice. All right. So the lead headline again once is the Rock showing up on SmackDown on Friday night and wants Cody to be his champion. He doesn't want the title. He wants his soul. Dwayne wants your soul, everybody. Well, just Cody's. I doubt he wants mine. That would just be kind of something to put up on the top shelf and get dusty. But it does bring to light another interesting topic that seems to be happening in WWE right now. Here's your issue that some people were saying about, why is WWE constantly using the veterans, the old timers, and you hate to use the word old timer for John Cena and The Rock, but they've been doing it a while. And there's some frustration among fans saying, we've got all these great talents right now. Why are we using The Rock? Why, John Cena would get retirement tour, so on. But isn't it time to stop relying on Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker and guys like that in big spots? You bring him back for nostalgia spots. Maybe do some fun tag team or match or something like that at some point. Shawn Michaels is just sitting out there and saying, yeah, I might have a match or two left. Like, really, Shawn? I mean, it's okay. You want to do a little match on NXT or something, even though I don't think Shawn would maybe necessarily do a match on NXT. But it does bring to mind a big question. Why does WWE have to keep going and pulling these guys back out of mothballs? We just saw that John Cena is a minus 2,000 favorite to win his match at Elimination Chamber. So John Cena wins that. He is going to challenge Cody Rhodes in what would be one of the main events at WrestleMania. And The Rock is coming after Cody's soul. So look at the picture here for just a second. Your great champ, Cody Rhodes, apparently needs to be locked in arms like the gang of the Wizard of Oz with John Cena and The Rock. Why? Wouldn't Cody and Punk be enough? Hasn't Cody and Roman been enough? I mean, you have Jacob Fatu. You've got Braun Breaker. You have all these young guys. Plus, you have the guys you have sitting there now. Punk, Priest, Drew. These are some very talented guys that are on your roster right now. Do we need to get Triple H in there too? It really does bring up the question. I mean, how's the locker room reacting? We said earlier from a report that they were pretty surprised to see The Rock show up on SmackDown this week and then doing way more than announcing the WrestleMania was going to New Orleans. You kind of figured when you heard that, it's like, okay, The Rock's going to be making the New Orleans announcement. Cool. But that's a long way from stealing the world champion's soul. Don't you think? And I can't imagine what a lot of the guys in the locker room think. Just imagine what Punk's thinking right now. The man who's made the big deal, but I've never main evented a WrestleMania before. He's going to get shoved out again. Because if they're planning anything with putting The Rock into this match somehow, it just blows me away. I'll be honest with you. The match that they're talking about that I would probably be the most interested in is CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. That's a match right there, kids. And it's nothing against John Cena. But I'm not excited about him going after Cody. I'd have been more excited if he was going after Gunther. That's a showdown of generations. Two of the toughest guys that have ever been in that ring. And John doesn't sometimes get that toughness ranking, but when you think about what he's put his body through over the years, he's a pretty tough guy. I would have been okay with that. And if Cena would have won, next pay-per-view, you could drop it right back on Gunther. Like Gunther overcame the legend and he's back on top and, as invulnerable as he ever was. It's already been a struggle with him as world champion. You had the whole run of, he's got his doubts. He's got his doubts. The first time Gunther has doubts about himself. Okay. I don't want Gunther to have doubts about himself. I want him to be an ass-kicking machine. That's what I want Gunther to be. I want Gunther to chop his way into through somebody's sternum and out their back. That's what I want. And have somebody try to do it right back, like Dragunov when he gets back. I don't know what it is, but I'm not that excited about Jey Uso. I think it's cool, Jey winning the Rumble and getting this chance. I mean, good for him. And it's great that you're bringing somebody else along now. But the problem is that the way that it somewhat disrupted the rest of the card. No, it's not the match itself. It's what goes around it. So I don't know. Once again, maybe I'm being a little old school on this. But I think fans do have a legitimate right to complain that we're going to go back to relying on a lot of the retired guys. And if you use them right, like they did in Philadelphia, you're in good shape. What they did there was pretty cool. But I think fans recognize that there's a ton of talent out there right now. Why hold it down more? Now, I can't wait to see what Braun Breaker is going to be doing in 3 to 5 years. And apparently his brother, who plays football for Jacksonville State, is getting some WWE money for his NILs. That's pretty cool. So good for him. But you don't need to keep bringing this back unless you have a problem. Unless you think you have a problem. And that goes into kind of the next topic that I'm talking about. We have a lot of tickets still left for WrestleMania. That has to be a concern. And quite frankly, I think they overpriced themselves on a tough weekend. Easter weekend's not easy. I mean, and put yourself in the shoes of some guy talking to his wife. Hey, honey. Yes, dear. What's going on? Hey, do we have any plans for Easter yet? Well, I'm thinking we go see the family just like we used to. Well, the kids want to get some Easter eggs. Well, I got a different idea this year. How about we go to Las Vegas for WrestleMania? What? Yeah, why not? And I'll agree with that sentiment. Why not? There's a lot of churches in Las Vegas. You guys can get your services in over the week. Don't worry about that. But sometimes when you say something like that, it sounds bad enough. And then you go for tickets. Then you go for the tickets. And you have to say to your wife, hey, yeah, you like this idea? Well, maybe. Well, it's once in a lifetime. And then you go and tell her that the cheapest tickets are $300 each. And that's there's not many sections that have those. You're talking more like 5 to 8-ish until you start really getting down there, where the max tickets available right now on Ticketmaster are a little over 1,500. And you know what? Still a lot of tickets left. So maybe that's why they decide, well, maybe we need to put John Cena in the main event. Maybe we need to get The Rock stealing souls around Allegiant Stadium. No, but to me, it's a little bit of an indictment that WWE is not featuring their stars and letting them go. Man, Punk and Cody would have been a great match. And still not saying it's not going to happen, because we're waiting to see what happens at Elimination Chamber. But this is a really tricky spot for them right now. It really is. When do you cut the cord? And I don't think Dwayne wants to cut the cord. Dwayne seems to want to just pop in. Oh, I can save it. He's got, let's not lie. Dwayne's a cool dude. He has done so many nice things for people over the years. There's no questioning his character when it comes to that. But when it does come to having a little bit of hubris about I'm the savior, yeah, that's there too. So let's not pretend, Rock. Let's not pretend. I get it. But to a point, you've also been so incredibly successful in your life. That's the way you are when you succeed. You kind of feel a little like, there's nothing I can't do. That's when you need people like Nick Khan and Triple H to tackle you a little bit. I don't know what they got planned and what's going to happen now that The Rock has re-interjected himself in the picture when it looked like he'd stepped away. But are we headed for some sort of Cena Rock clash again? I wouldn't mind seeing that match. I would be okay with it, especially with Rock being the heel. Sets up a boy. I don't even want to say a John Cena heel turn. They're not going to do it. If they haven't done it now, they're not going to do it. But you also have to look at another situation that's come up too, that these ratings on Netflix, guys, have taken a hit. They are down significantly from that debut. If you remember, the first debut they had on January 6th on Netflix was at 5.9 million. The last numbers that came out on February 10th, 2.8. Now, you're going to complain about 2.8 million viewers? No. But, I've heard this from all you AEW haters out there and seen it on X. Oh, man, their ratings are half of what they were when they started. Oh, my God. Terrible, terrible. Okay. What do you do now? Do you say the same thing to WWE? I'd be a little nervous if I was WWE. Look, the one issue you got is you got to pay to have Netflix, and it's not necessarily commonly available. If you just flip on the television. Now times have changed. I mean, you got smart TV, you're going to get to go to Netflix, and a lot of people have memberships. But they actually got beat out by some murder series or something like that this 2 weeks ago. So they aren't the number one show on Netflix anymore. Pretty interesting. But I don't know, is bringing veterans back the right move? You tell me in that chat box. I'd love to hear from you. Of course, just hop on in there wherever you're catching us on social media, X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook and YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. Tell me your thoughts. Do you think that maybe, just maybe, there's a little trouble in WWE land? We haven't, I said a little bit of lackluster reactions to matches that are on WrestleMania right now and could be coming. A little bit. What do they do? Or do they do nothing and just say, you know what? We're the big dog. Forget about it. But I'm going to tell you something. Every dog has a day, not in a good way. So just, maybe WWE needs to just keep looking very, very hard at what they're doing and not taking the attitude of whatever we do is going to stick. So we'll see. But we will also see about our next segment coming up. We're going to step back and take a break. And when we return, you know what? I'm done talking about WWE. I want to get into this AEW Revolution card. It's going to be down in LA in a couple weeks. AEW, to me, in terms of storylines, performers, do you think they're back, everybody? We'll talk about it when we return on the Mark Hoke Show. You're on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas.
Ever had one of those moments when you're enjoying a hot shower and then, yikes, cold water hits you? Not exactly the wake-up call you want. That happens when your water heater's full of gunk and working harder than it should. Kettle's water heater rejuvenation gives your system a deep clean so it heats efficiently. And while we're there, we'll do a free plumbing inspection to make sure no hidden surprises are lurking in your pipes. Visit Gettle.com. Goettl. Will keep your water warm, but it's hard to spell.
By July of 2025, nearly all Nevada employers will be required to offer a retirement plan to all employees. As a business, how do you even start? Just call the Vegas Chamber to get plugged into the Chamber's 401k plan. It's simple to administer, provides great options, and will quickly help your business meet Nevada's new retirement plan mandate. Visit vegaschamber.com to get plugged in.
Sponsored by the Vegas Chamber in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or in third-party delivery platforms.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. It is the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. I am Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. And thank you to everybody who's been supporting the show, listening to it. We are the top rated show, live show on KDAWN, and couldn't do it without you. So we really do appreciate everybody taking the time on Sunday morning and tuning in. Not as much reason to get up, getting ready for football, but we love having you around. So certainly awesome. And by the way, speaking of having you around, around my shoulder here is the Off-Grid Creation sign. And if you want to get great promotional items done, shirts, embroidery, pens, signs like that one back there, my good friend Mike Franco is going to take great care of you. Go to off-gridcreations.com, and he will give you a free brand consultation. So Mike will make sure that you don't just order something and just kind of like, oh, here's your box, see ya. Now he wants to make sure that what you're doing is the right thing. And I've done some great work with Mike, the shirts, the signs, all the stuff that we have. And I'd appreciate if you would too. Go to off-gridcreations.com, or you can give Mike a call at 661-300-1115, 661-300-1115. Last chance, 661-300-1115. Unless, of course, you can't see over my shoulder on the live stream. But give him a call. We would certainly appreciate it. Mike's getting ready for WrestleMania too, so come join the fun. Off-gridcreations.com. All right. AEW Oh, and by the way, there was a comment in the chat box I guess I want to hit before we do that. And Bionic Scoop says, to be fair, I wouldn't expect 5.6 million every week, regardless of brand. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we knew there was going to be a drop off for Raw on Netflix, but I'm a little surprised it was that much. But the episodes have been all right. I don't know if it's been spectacular, but I said we weren't going to talk about WWE much. But WWE kind of had the perfect storm at WrestleMania last year when you think about it. 2-year storyline culminating there between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, plus the Bloodline storyline somewhat coming to a peak, and The Rock showing up too. I mean, that is a perfect storm of pro wrestling right there. Are we going to get it again? I don't know. It could be a long time, but so I can understand why ratings drop. But if you're going to yell at AEW for drop ratings numbers falling heavily, by half, then better get on WWE's case too. But AEW, man, I'll tell you what. Are we psyched for Revolution? They are finally getting some storylines together, getting some other people over besides some of the ones they already had. This is looking pretty good, guys. This is looking pretty good. We had a pretty entertaining episodes this week of Dynamite and Collision. Harley Cameron keeps everybody on their toes and is just doing a terrific job with what she's doing. Chris Jericho had a good match. Don't want to hear it. Don't tell me Chris Jericho, go away. He just went 15 rounds with Bandito and looked terrific. One of them, I feel bad for the Murder Machines, Brian Cage, friend of the show, and Lance Archer going after the Hurt Syndicate, who just won the tag team titles. I mean, the Cage Archer team is a very good team. And two experienced guys with a ton of power. They're fun. The Hurt Syndicate is just so ridiculously over right now. I kind of feel bad that those guys are going to get fed to them, but AEW could use a little shoring up on the tag teams, but that was a lot of fun. We've also got Toni Storm back, and she just immediately got attacked on Collision by Mariah May. So we're going to have another match between the two of them at Revolution 2. And I'll tell you what, those two ladies have done an unbelievable job. You have got to give so much credit to Toni and Mariah for putting on all these great performances, not just in the ring, but promos and everything else. They have been spectacular. And we're going to see them again in what they are calling a Hollywood ending for the AEW Women's World Championship. And this card, man, there's maybe only 2 matches I'm not, but the other ones, man, get me down to LA. I don't know if we're going to have to tape the show a day ahead or something, or I'm just going to hop in the car right after it's over and drive down to Crypto.com Arena. That may be the more likely possibility. But this is where it is right now. Big Boom AJ is going to be having a match. So the former professional wrestler who does that stuff as the Costco guys. So we'll see him wrestling somebody. Will Ospreay is going to be against Kyle Fletcher. That is now in a steel cage. That should be pretty intense. Kensuke Takeshita with Don Callis in the corner will defend his international championship against Kenny Omega. Yikes. That's going to get nasty. Speaking of super nasty, MJF and Hangman Adam Page. And these two guys have really found a groove with each other. Don't know how Page keeps ending up being the baby face, but there he is. He'll get MJF, and hopefully that's going to reignite MJF too. I want him back in the World Championship picture where he should be. And even nastier, we've got Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship against Cope. And a lot of people are hoping that Cope is going to end this reign. And and I know Matt Black from WrestleZone just cannot stand the Death Riders. I'm okay with the Death Riders. I don't think it's terrible or anything like that. But, there's a bigger purpose, and hopefully that story works out. But it's Mox and Cope. Of course, for those of you WWE fans that don't follow AEW's tight Edge, Adam Copeland, he is now Cope. And Mercedes Moné will take on Momo Watanabe for the AEW TBS Championship. So that'll be another interesting match from Mercedes as she tries to continue to get over one way or the other with the crowd and not having the go-away heat. But no, it'll be one of those Japanese dream matches that Tony likes to put together. But I got to tell you, this card is, and we know there's going to be more, but this is going to be a really fun show. And I know Bionic Scoop in the chat box said I was so happy to see Bandito back. Yeah, it's good to have him back. They were just getting him rolling when he signed and then got hurt almost immediately. Bandito's pretty darn good. So maybe we'll get some more of that. But Jericho had a good match. I just, I get it. There's fatigue with Chris Jericho. I get it. But he can still wrestle. He's still one of the best out there. And no, I'm not going to put him in the GOAT category. People are saying, oh, he's the GOAT. No, he's not the GOAT. But he's pretty darn good. He's pretty darn good. Well, he's intentionally being irritating, and everything that he does seems to work. I don't know if he needs time away or not. That's up to him, but I'm cool with it. I like seeing Chris Jericho. But AEW, trying to get themselves squared back and get that hot factor that they had a couple of years ago, which I think cooled with the Adam Cole and MJF feud turning out to be indecisive because of injuries to both guys. That was sad, and I think that it really hurt the momentum of AEW. But it's starting to come back. I mean, you still got people like Swerve Strickland and Daniel Garcia and so many others out there just carrying the banner for these guys. It is a great organization of talent, and just hope they can pull it together. But there was an interesting story that came out of AEW, by the way, that some people were complaining that Tony Khan is not having production meetings, which I think is kind of a little different. Don't you? Because there was an incident that took place on Dynamite where Chris Statlander or Megan Bain had a match, and Thunder Rosa came in with a chair and nobody really knew what to do. It was a little weird, but people are saying, and someone had talked to Brian Alvarez over at Wrestling Observer, what Alvarez said, the bigger story here was this was just such a disaster. It's not a week goes by. Now, 1 week goes by where I don't hear from somebody in AEW saying, why don't we have production meetings? We need production meetings. Things happen on every show where if we had a production meeting, they wouldn't happen. But Tony refuses to do production meetings, and here we are. This is another one. What happened here? Nobody knows. I didn't get a single good explanation for it. It was just everybody was on a different page, and you made the babyface look like an absolute idiot, and here we go. And that's one of the worst things that you want to do is make baby faces look like idiots. Heels already do a decent job making baby faces look like idiots. It's part of the job. But I do find that interesting that Tony doesn't have production meetings. I don't know, man. I'd be locking everybody in a room before the show starts. But everybody's doing it their way, and it's his money. So whatever Tony wants to do, he does. But that's pretty interesting. So just something to keep an eye on in the future as AEW continues to roll forward. And once again, don't forget, guys, they are going to be here in Las Vegas coming up on March 15th. So the weekend after Revolution, they will be on in Las Vegas at the Virgin Theater. So that's going to be a lot of fun, man. And honestly, as much as I get around the city, many people know I do a little ride share. I haven't gone to Virgin yet. They took over for the Hard Rock a couple of years ago. So I'm looking forward to going to the Virgin Theater and seeing what's going to be happening over there with Tony and the team and just seeing the facility. Should be a lot of fun. So would encourage you to go get your tickets now and at your usual ticket outlets, wherever you feel like it, or go to AEWtickets.com, I believe it is. It's AEW Tix or AEW Tickets, one of the two, but you'll find it, I promise. But should be a lot of fun. As we'll have fallout from Revolution. Those shows are always really cool to be at. So, come join us. And speaking of those shows coming up, I want to take a break a little bit early because I want to give everybody an idea in case you don't know how nuts WrestleMania weekend gets in a city. There are cards everywhere starting from Wednesday on. And I'll give you a sampling of them. I don't know if I can get through that whole calendar. But TNA aside, they're going to be here too. We'll talk about that as they rejoin us here in Las Vegas. We were wondering where they were, and they're coming in. So get ready. And we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. We'll be right back, gang. Stick around.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really, really, really good guitar solo.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
We've all got a thing. Yeah, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
All right, let's do this one more time. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN, 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming on the Odyssey app. And, of course, there's a rewind feature on there, too. So if you missed me rant and rave about The Rock earlier, you can go back and check that out. But I promise you, AUD, ACY, unbelievable shows from all around the Odyssey universe. If you download that app right now, I promise you that Christy Brinkley will give you a wink. Well, maybe she won't, but it'll be a nice thought. But get that Odyssey app right now. Also streaming on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and X at Mark Hoke Show as I rant and rave about everything in the world on X. And in case you didn't know, I also do produce another show here on KDAWN. It's the Steve Sanchez Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. So, yeah, I'm here 6 days a week. It's just kind of how it goes. But great politics show if you want to tune in and check that out. I produce and hop in there and handle the call screening and all that stuff. So check it out Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific time here on KDAWN. Now, WrestleMania gets a little busy, as you know. A few years ago, people finally started realizing, hey, you know what? If all these wrestling fans are going to be in town, maybe I should be in town too. Brilliant idea. TNA is following that idea as they will be joining us here at the Cox Pavilion on April 17th. A late start, 10 p.m. Eastern time for those of you on the East Coast. So all my friends back in Pennsylvania, yeah, sucks to be you. But you'll still enjoy it. But you can head on over and see TNA Unbreakable April 17th at the Cox Pavilion on UNLV's campus. So that'll be part of the WrestleMania week. But there's a lot of shows, guys. And I think sometimes people don't realize the impact that WrestleMania has on the industry and how much people really count on having a big show for their indie promotion when they come out here. Just to give you an idea, here's your overall schedule in case you maybe didn't even know some of these guys were coming. Big Valley Wrestling, which is our good friend Ricky Tenacious's promotion, they're going to be kicking the whole thing off on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, the Colorado Wrestling Connection is going to be here at 7:30. Dragon Gate is going to be here on Wednesday night. That's a great opportunity to see Dragon Gate. And then also on Wednesday, NTLL, Lucha Libre action, and the Shooting Star Fest will also be on Wednesday. On Thursday, ASE Wrestling will be here. They're going to be down at FSW's building. Banger Zone Wrestling. I'm not too familiar with that one, but I am familiar with Defy. They're going to be here. Demand Lucha and Destiny Wrestling will be doing a joint show. Dusk Pro Wrestling also on Thursday afternoon. That one's a 4. Fighting Evolution Wrestling, 11 p.m. down at FSW. Kirk White's Big Time Wrestling. That's actually a pretty fun promotion. They will be at Meet Las Vegas downtown for that one. So you can check that out. Mark's Arasino Bright will be here. Marvelous Pro Wrestling. Melina's Divas and Drag Wrestling. Brace yourself for that one. Pandemonium Pro will be here on Thursday. Phase 1 Pro. Prestige Wrestling. That's a pretty good one. They're going to be downtown. Progress Wrestling will be at the Palms on Thursday. So that's a pretty good booking and one you might want to check out. Ruthless Pro on Thursday. Shooting Star Fest on Thursday. Spark Joshi on Thursday. And this is what I'm excited about. Stardom is going to be here. They're doing a show at noon on Thursday. So chance to see the ladies of Stardom. West Coast Pro, Winter Circle Pro, and WrestleCon will be having their show. WrestleCon will be here. I need to reach out to WrestleCon too, by the way. But they'll be doing the show on Thursday as well. That's just Thursday, guys. That's just Thursday. Friday, DDT Pro, Deadlock Pro, Devotion Championship Wrestling, Dragon Gate on Friday. For the Culture is going to be at Palms. That'll be fun. FSW's got a card finally listed there on Friday. Podermania, Pride Style. That's a local promotion here in Las Vegas. Primo's Premier Pro Wrestling. I got through that. How about that one? Ruthless Pro, Shooting Star Fest. Stardom again on Friday. Once again, you can start that. Texas Wrestling Cartel, which you've heard about on the show from Stu Myrick, one of my co-hosts here. They will be in town. UPW will be here versus Pro. WrestleCore all on Friday. Saturday morning, brace yourself because the big gay brunch is going to be here. Effie is bringing the show down, the GCW World Champion. That'll be on Saturday morning at 11. Family Time Wrestling, also doing a show. Rise is doing one. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. That should be fun to see. And those shows are all on Saturday. There is a Sunday Future Legend show from Future Stars of Wrestling as well on April 20th. And I'm sure that schedule is going to continue to be added to as time goes on. And I would highly recommend follow at Trust and Phil Stamper, one of my other co-hosts, because he does an unbelievable job tracking the indie calendar, not just for WrestleMania, but for the whole year. I mean, if you got an indie card, you're going to be somewhere in the United States. Phil is going to have a listing where you're going to be able to go watch some pro wrestling. So please give him a follow at Trust and Phil and see what's happening in the world of pro wrestling for you. But that TNA event should be a lot of fun. Of course, they've been down at the Palms the last couple times they were here. Now they're going to Cox Pavilion. So that should be a great time to get everybody happy on Thursday night. And who knows what's going to happen there? Who knows? Because, of course, you have the WWE TNA crossover. And WWE is going to be in town. So it should be a pretty sensational night for TNA Unbreakable here in Las Vegas. By the way, speaking of TNA, anybody notice that Joe Hendry doesn't seem to be too worried about people in TNA? No, he's got his sights set a little higher. As you see, he's been making social media posts and especially calling out one John Cena. Do all of you out there think that John Cena's 17th World Championship should not be a WWE Championship, but should be the TNA World Championship? That would be an interesting continuity thing for WWE to handle. Because we all know that over the years that, especially with Ric Flair, some title changes never got recognized. Even within WWE, if you go back in their history, with Bob Backlund, two of Backlund's, he's listed as having one reign, but is actually three because he lost it to Antonio Inoki in Japan, and then Inoki relinquished the belt when they finished that tour over there later that week. There was also a night where they vacated the title. So Backlund's reign technically is not one connected reign. But we all know Ric Flair is more around the lines of a 20 to 21 time world champion. But do you think that John Cena is the guy to, and if he is, would you let that championship be the TNA world title? It would, and it kind of gets into debate on, which world championships are worth more than other world championships. I mean, I can tell you there's a lot of very small promotions that call their title a world championship, and it's not a world championship. They can call it that, but it's, come on. Now, I remember the days of Pro Wrestling Illustrated where it took a lot for them to recognize another world championship besides the WWF, the AWA, and the NWA World Championship. Getting any other recognition for titles, like, for example, the UWF with Bill Watts, while it was pretty competitive, you got a little fight on that. Same thing, World Class. Are you truly a worldwide promotion? It's questionable. The Ring of Honor World Championship. If someone's a Ring of Honor World Champion, would that count? Like, would that count in Bryan Danielson's total championships if he was in WWE? Would you recognize that? Pretty tricky spot there for those guys. But, yeah, it would be fun. I mean, I would enjoy seeing that. I'd like to see Joe Hendry and Roman Reigns go at it after what happened at the Rumble. He's not scared. No, maybe Drew McIntyre, getting it on with his fellow Scotsman. Might be a fun match. Of course, Drew was a former TNA world champion himself. So a lot of fun possibilities for Joe Hendry as we head into WrestleMania season. But I hope I hope he gets on the card. You know, he got one of the biggest pops of the Royal Rumble, and everybody just loves the guy to death. So could be pretty exciting to see Joe Hendry where he lands this WrestleMania weekend coming up in we're only like 6-7 weeks away. Also happening this week, by the way, if you want to get into some news, that Vince McMahon Janelle Grant battle, that thing is far, far from over. Woo! If you hadn't seen it, Grant had made a lot of amendments to her lawsuit against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE. The complaint went from 67 horrendous, horrible things to read pages to over 100 with a lot of changes to the original lawsuit. Get this, guys. It includes details about McMahon allegedly sharing explicit photos of Grant without consent, details of a custom office that was made to fit Laurinaitis' tastes following Grant's move to talent relations. Apparently, they had a special door. The likes of Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan enabling McMahon's conduct, a voice memo from McMahon, and other named individuals such as Brock Lesnar being mentioned. We kind of knew Brock was in there, but it didn't say the name. But McMahon, his gang's not going to go down easy. They hit back at the amended lawsuit, claimed it was a PR tactic done in bad faith. And WWE has apparently joined McMahon and Laurinaitis in opposing the amended lawsuit. So this will be very interesting because the Grant's amendments don't impact WWE's motion to settle in private arbitration. But there's been some other stuff going on. Of course, Vince did have criminal investigations end against him. So this is going to be, oh man, I'll tell you, this is one of those that, Vince had a chance, and no offense, what he did aside, Vince had a chance to just make these stupid payments. They had settled for $3 million. He stopped. And all he had to do was write that one check, which for Vince McMahon, while painful, that's a little bit of chump change for Vince. He could have walked out of that thing and this would be over. And now, you get knocked out of the company. Now there's millions more on the line because of this. But Janelle Grant's attorney not going away. They're going to keep fighting on this. So we'll see how this all turns out for Vince. Once again, top story of the day, in case you missed it, The Rock showing up on SmackDown saying he wants the soul of Cody Rhodes, wants to make him his champion, and WrestleMania could be getting blown up again, even as we head into the Elimination Chamber. That is unreal, guys. But, I didn't think we weren't going to see The Rock at WrestleMania, but now will he be in the ring? How does this affect Elimination Chamber, the winner of that, which would be John Cena? Can you imagine the possibility of Cena, Rock, and Cody possibly in the ring together? Woo! Oh, sell me some tickets on that one. I think I'll be all right with that. And that is going to pretty much wrap it up for us today. Just want to take a second to first thank all of you for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate it. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. So subscribe over there. That is a big help to us. We certainly do appreciate it. And hopefully our good friends, Phil Stamper, like I said, he got a last minute illness and hopefully he's going to be all right. And of course, you can follow him at Trust and Phil, at Stu Myrick, STEWMYRCK, does a great show. Sports guys talking wrestling out of Austin, Texas. And of course, Coach Rosie, Josh Rosenbaum, also joins us here on the show too. He is with adfreeshows.com. And they got some great podcasts over there from some of the best names in the industry. So make sure you check all those guys' stuff out when you can. And kids, that's going to be it. Thank you for being with us today here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're going to have more of the best in pro wrestling news and entertainment as we roll even closer to WrestleMania here in Las Vegas. And we'll have the results of Elimination Chamber next week. So maybe we'll get a few answers about what's going on there when we find out who the remaining two opponents for those two world titles, Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley, will be. So check it out. We'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show, everybody. Have a great day, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Want more of the gaming